when we're talking about thoughts, okay, you can think any thought at any time. You can think any thought at any time. So your thoughts come and go. There's a thought that comes through, right? Here's the skill I love teaching clients, is that when a thought comes through, you don't have to grab onto it. You don't have to grab onto that thought. You can just let it pass through. You don't have to evaluate it. You don't have to assess it. You don't have to grab onto it. You can just let it pass through. You can just acknowledge, like, oh, my brain just thought this thought. I don't have to do anything with it. I don't have to do anything with it. Big skill, y'all, big skill. Remember, you can think any thought at any time.
This struggle got purpose and we grow. So whatever road we have to take next, all I need to know is that we'll roll with the punches.
All right, y'all. Oh boy, it's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute since I've been out here running, y'all. It's been about 2 weeks. Feels like it's been longer than that. It's been about 2 weeks. Oh, feels good to get out, get my body and my mind connected. You know, there's only so much time in a day. Only so much time in a day. And past couple weeks, I have been seeing so many clients that I haven't had time to get out. Haven't had time to get out and run. I gotta be constantly, though, thinking about my priorities, y'all. I gotta take care of me first. You gotta take care of you first. You know, we talk about this all the time. You gotta take care of you first. You can't take care of other people if you don't take care of yourself first. Right? So, I'm back on the running train, y'all. Back on the running train. Back on the running train, y'all.
I really wanted to get it right, trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight, and now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say.
All right, y'all, that run was fire. That run was fire. It was just a little fire, though, just a little fire, just a little 3 mile jog. Okay, I've been off for 2 weeks from running. It's been intentional. I've had some things to take care of in my life that have taken a little bit of priority. While I get those things adjusted and get those things good, I've taken a run off, all right? I've taken running off for 2 weeks. And now those things are good in my life, so now everything's just gonna rise, right? Everything's gonna rise. The things that I was working on in my life for the last 2 weeks, I've got good. Those are gonna rise. The run's gonna rise. Everything's gonna rise together, y'all. Everything's gonna rise together. So sometimes what we have to do is we have to take our foot off the pedal of one thing, right? So we can focus on another thing. We only got 24 hours in a day. We only got 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, 365, right? We only got so much time. So sometimes we have to put our time and our energy into something, which means that we have to take our feet off the gas just a little bit on something else. And that's what I did with the run over the last 2 weeks. Now I got those things taken care of in my life. All things are rising now. Everything's gonna start to rise together. We're gonna start to level up, y'all. We're gonna start to level up. Getting back on this running. Got all these other awesome things in my life. Life is good. Life is good. Life is good. I hope your life is good. Hope your life is good.
It'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me.
I wanted to talk to you about exercise, running, yoga, you know, jogging, rowing. I don't know much about lifting. As you can see, but I just want to talk to you about exercise. You know, I think sometimes there becomes a challenge with exercise as far as exercise and the duration of exercise. Sometimes I think people go out too hard. They got these goals that they want to accomplish, that they want to crush these goals. So they go out really hard in the beginning, right? They go out really hard in the beginning, but that's not sustainable. So for me, I've made running a forever goal, a forever goal. What I mean by that, Randy, what's a forever goal? What I mean by that is that I want to run for the rest of my life, forever. I want to exercise, run, walk, jog, hike, be out in nature for the rest of my life, okay? So for me, taking 2 weeks off isn't that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal because I know over my lifetime, I'll get back to running. I'll get back to running because it's a forever goal. I'll get back to running and I'll make up whatever I lost, right? In conditioning and fitness and everything else. I'll make that up because it's forever for me. I'm gonna be doing it forever. I think sometimes people get in these short-term kind of goals and they go out and they try to crush something. They do it really hard and they're crushing it in the short term. But what people struggle with is the recovery. Because you go out so hard. And I think that's just your ego. I think that's your ego saying, hey, I gotta lift all this weight, or I gotta run this fast, or I gotta run this long, or I gotta run this distance, right? That's your ego talking. And if you say, nah, ego, nah, ego, you're not gonna play with me like that. No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just be mindful. I'm gonna start out slow. I'm gonna start out intentional, right? I'm gonna start out just by being strategic, and I'm gonna start out slow, and I'm just gonna kind of gently kind of increase my volume of running, increase my intensity of exercise, right? Just gently. Over time, y'all, over time, I think you'll have a lot better success in doing over a long period of time. I just see people doing these goals for the short term, and then they just poop out. They poop out just because they can't sustain it. Okay, it's time for what's been coming up in client sessions. All right, y'all, what's been coming up in client sessions? Big time skill here. Cognitive behavioral therapy, y'all. It's thebomb.com. Use it every day in therapy, but in my own personal life. Thoughts, how you're thinking, how you're feeling emotionally and physically, and then your behaviors, what you do, all connected together. Okay, it's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. You have a negative thought, you're going to have a negative feeling, you're going to have a negative behavior. Those are all connected together. You have a positive thought, you're going to have a positive feeling, you're going to have a positive behavior. All right, thoughts, feelings, behaviors. Hey, one thing I want to talk about with the cognitive part, when we're talking about thoughts, okay, you can think any thought at any time. You can think any thought at any time. So your thoughts come and go. There's a thought that comes through, right? Here's the skill I love teaching clients, is that when a thought comes through, you don't have to grab onto it. You don't have to grab onto that thought. You can just let it pass through. You don't have to evaluate it. You don't have to assess it. You don't have to grab onto it. You can just let it pass through. You can just acknowledge, like, oh, my brain just thought this thought. I don't have to do anything with it. Big skill, y'all, big skill. Remember, you can think any thought at any time. If you do grab onto that thought, if you don't like that thought, you can change it, all right? The control of your thoughts isn't in what your brain sends to you, right? It's not what your brain sends to you. Sometimes people say, oh my gosh, like I had this thought, like, I don't like that thought. I don't like it. I wish I could change it. Well, you can change it. Just because your brain sends you a thought doesn't mean you have to think that thought. You can think any thought at any time. On track, now we on way up. Don't be used as easy as a layup.